of our concert reaction for KCON. Today we're going to be talking about everyone who performed on day 2 of KCON.
Mamamoo.
Mamamoo.
Day 6. Eric Nam.
Yeah, me too. Alright, we started off with a performance by Jun Kuryan, who's like this violin cover artist, but he also dances.
He does.
I knew about him. He started dancing Save Me while he was playing.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
He did really well. It was so cute to see how excited he was to be there too.
And he got to walk along the stage with Danny afterwards and throw t-shirts to people in the audience. He was super excited about it, just bowing all over the place. It was
really precious.
They opened with Mamamoo, which confused me because I thought they were going to open with day 6 because they can't move. But they opened with Mamamoo.
Queen.
I want you to know I took videos, but most of them are kind of hard to watch because they're 90% me screaming, "Oh my god!" every time Hwasa appears.
Yep. I can confirm. And me quietly screaming, "Holy fuck!" in the background. I didn't know that women that beautiful or sexy could exist. And I witnessed them with my own two eyes.
They're real. Mamamoo is real.
They are
They were
so
dancing
talented.
killer heels.
Yeah.
Real tall.
They're
incredible.
So beautiful. They're like
so
incredibly beautiful. You have no idea. Like you see them in person, you're like, "Oh my god!"
It's real. It's like you'd think like, oh, like they're just photos, they're photoshopped, it's the lighting. No. They are that beautiful in person. They are insane. I bet they all smell of like fresh flowers.
Probably.
And, the
Sunshine
ocean.
and happiness.
Everything good.
Everything
Really.
good.
Their vocal talent, like
Unprecedented.
Moonbill is such a talented rapper, like crazy. And Solar's a fucking powerhouse. Queen, like, oh my god, she is the second Mariah Carey.
Truly.
And
Oh my god, they're so great.
oh my god.
They are like really vocal heroes of mine, especially like, in K-pop where it's like so hard to differentiate between the backtrack and actual vocals. You knew.
You could tell.
You could tell.
Amazing.
I would really love to see them someday with a live band, but they still really set themselves apart from any of the other artists in the night on a vocal technique scale. So good.
You are the best, right? That's the first one.
Yeah, they did. You're the best.
And they did a little introduction right afterwards.
was
They
so
spoke English. I don't think I got any video of it. I might have gotten a small bit. But
so
they
precious.
feel small English, like just "we hope you enjoy" or something like that. And I almost fell over. It was so cute.
So precious.
They were so hyped. They were so excited to be
So
there.
excited.
There were lots of people with the little like radish, whatever.
The little radish
yeah,
lights.
they were so cute.
Every time there was any kind of break in the music, Hwasa would be like, "New York!" Like you could just tell they were so excited to be there. It was so precious.
jazz. Oh,
I
God,
love
they were so
her. Hwasa kept like looking in my direction a little bit, and I was like, she knew. She knew. I mean, the girls like were standing next to me said I was real cute, so maybe she was looking at me because I was cute.
Probably.
I don't want to think about Hwasa thinking that I'm cute though.
All right.
This is too much. I know that they're not actually. Well, actually, I have no idea. They could be. They were acting super gay during their like ad-libs on stage, just like slapping each other's butts and stuff.
Getting real close. There was one bit that the camera guy got where they like just like pulled their faces real close together, and of course the crowd went totally wild for it. Me too. And they used the whole stage also. Not all the artists did it as well, but they really did. They were interacting with the fans everywhere. Just so hyped. They were so amazing.
Probably, truly, honestly, one of the most talented girl groups in K-pop right now.
They are one of a kind, and it's you should see them if you can. You should. Anyway, we spent like 5 minutes talking about fucking Mamamoo.
That's
They're
understandable.
incredible.
They're amazing.
Blame us.
Okay. The day 6 was second. They were amazing. They
They're so
really, I mean, they just
good.
stayed on the platinum stage because they're glued to their
Yeah, they
instruments. so
can't really
walk around.
move.
Jay was kind of bouncing around, and Sing said it seemed like he was maybe gonna walk. Cause I'm sure his guitar was attached to something.
Yeah, I'm sure
No,
he was.
it was on a wireless.
Oh,
Was it? Oh, so
he
he
could have.
he could have.
Not to.
It probably would have been hard though.
So they
neck.
I don't want to think about things. Oh my god. And Sungjin, holy cow! Oh my god. When he puts that rasp in his voice, I just can't. And Jay with his stupid glasses and his cute
Jay
little mouth.
Jay was like 300% extra.
He was so extra.
So cute.
And he was smiling
He was
so
so
much.
smiley. Oh
my God.
And Domoon, they kept trying to encourage him to speak a little bit of English, and he was so embarrassed.
Yeah, it was so
But he was good.
I kept having to remind myself that they weren't using a backtrack. They were playing instruments.
Yeah,
and I kept being like,
100% live.
it's so good. How are they?
incredible.
It was flawless. Like, I was like, how is this not a backtrack? It sounds literally exactly like the album.
They sang congratulations. They sang Free, which is one of my favorite.
That
My
was
favorite song
so
of their first
fun.
album. It was amazing.
It got so lit when they played.
And then they're just like, hey, let's play some covers. So they did Big Bang. What was the song?
I forget the name of it because I'm trash.
I know, same. And then they did part of a CN Blue song. And then they came into a freaking Wonder Girls song. They did Nobody But You. Mama Moo came and started singing.
So from where we were at the second night, a little bit closer than the first night, you could see into the lift under the stage. So someone started like freaking out, and I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Mama's under the stage." And I was like,
Oh fuck yeah! At that moment, we all looked at each other and we're just like,
"What's happening? What's happening?" And then they came out and started doing Nobody But You.
but
And
it was amazing.
Not a collaboration that I ever would have expected. Like,
Ever.
I was expecting maybe Ailey and 17 because that would make sense, or maybe like Mama Moo and B2B, even though they were on different nights because
Right.
they had sang each other's songs.
Or Mama
before.
Moo and Eric. I was
Yeah, that would
Yeah, that
make
would've
sense,
made sense, too.
But Mama Moo and Day 6 would have been way far down my list of like potentials. It
Yeah.
was incredible.
but it was so good.
Amazing.
So even before Day 6 went on, Kylie and Namjoon came out on like the P2 catwalk, like the very end, and we're introducing the next group, and they're talking about like just old K-pop, and that was kind of how they introduced that the one like Nobody was gonna happen. And well, first of all, let's talk about the fact that I got a picture of Namjoon looking at me. How do I go on living? Second of all, Eileen was like, you should do that. And he got so flustered and embarrassed, but everyone was like cheering him on.
How do you guys know that word?
It was so cute. And he did it, and like I was right there at the end of the catwalk, like where they were facing. And when the lights went out, he like doubled over because he was just so flustered, and it was literally the cutest thing I have ever witnessed in my whole life. And I saw with my own two eyes! Anyways.
After Day 6, Eric came on, and he led with a bouquet of flowers.
He
when
had,
he was
like,
coming
3.
up off stage, and he was passing the roses off into the audience.
Yes!
He was the most interactive with the audience
It was
because
so
he's been
great.
an MC for so long, and he's been on after school club, so he's really used to interacting with people. So he was
so
super interactive, was touching people all over the place.
So funny.
Hilarious, just really, I mean, just phenomenal in person too, and just so great at engaging with everybody. And
He was kind of a tease too. 'Cause, like he was drinking water like super seductively.
Yeah,
like,
what's his problem?
and everyone started cheering. He's like, guys,
just
it's
drinking
just water.
in his low raspy voice.
Some people look sexy when drinking water. I don't think I'm one of them. It's like, fuck off, really?
He's the worst.
He's terrible.
He was offensive, but he was just really talented.
Super talented. And he and Eiley did a collaboration, which
Yeah,
was
it was
really
really
surprising.
cute.
But it was super cute.
Wasn't
it. If you can do it again, I'm fine with that. It was real cute. And they
Moral of
also
the
have really
story
good chemistry together.
So you can ship Eiley with anybody.
Truly.
Right ship.
Truly.
That's the correct ship.
That's true.
She deserves everything.
She does. Everyone stand Eiley and everyone date Eiley.
Eric and Haley were on the stage. They emceed instead of Namjoon to introduce BTS coming in.
And they led with fire.
And let's
because of
talk
course
about the
they
moment I
did.
died. Again.
Again.
The crowd got ridiculous when they came out. Like,
So
my ears are still ringing a little bit.
yeah.
So they came out from behind on the flat stage, did fire, and it was so cool. Like, even though they were so far away, you could see the sharpness of their movements and just, it was amazing. And they did Save Me, which is my favorite song.
Everyone was going super crazy for Jin. It seemed like the pitch of screams for Jin and Cookie were the highest, which is just really exciting to me because I feel like people don't stand Jin nearly as much as they should.
I haven't been left speechless many times in my life, but
I was so worried because Save Me was on the P1 stage, and of course there's that bit that Namjoon does with Jimin and Hobie, and I wasn't quite sure where Emily was at that point, but I thought he might have been doing his little bit like basically right in front of her. I was just like, oh no,
it was
goodbye. We're
still
gonna
a
have to
very,
wheel her out of a
very
stretcher.
good view of me and I am deceased.
I had never like paid attention to the other members during that part, and Cookie was just so offensive during that.
His hair was so fluffy.
They fluffed him up so much.
How do you get that job, Cookie Fluffer?
I'm good at fluffing things, including cookies. And then they did Fun Boys! Fun Boys!
It was so fun, and P1 was like actually kind of empty, so at that point I kind of abandoned my spot behind Sing and just danced around P1 with them, and it was so fun.
They were just having a blast.
They were. It was really hard for my West to get all of them in a video at any point because they were all spread
All
out
over
around
the
the stages.
place.
They were all interacting with the fans
Yeah.
everywhere, being really rude.
Hobie came over to our side during Fun Boys a bunch and was dancing and having fun.
He
Yeah.
is so beautiful.
So handsome.
So beautiful.
Beautiful.
Person. Holy
Like,
shit.
Again, it's one of those things where you're like, are they really that good looking in person? Oh, do they Photoshop or like the lighting? No.
No.
They are that handsome and beautiful in person.
Even though they were obviously so exhausted, they were so beautiful.
It doesn't actually feel real
No.
that I was like feet away from each of them at certain points.
Jimin really liked hanging out on the corner near where our seats were. And he swiped his hand through his hair about 5 times probably. Because they performed Cypher after Fun Boys. And so the vocal line doesn't have a lot of lines, and so they just used the opportunity to run around and be really offensive and rude, basically.
It was
the
so
entire time.
awful!
I saw Cypher live.
I don't think that I would have, on a list of songs I thought they would perform,
Like, I
that would
didn't
not have been on there ever.
Tay was so hyped during
It
it.
was so hype.
So
He
hyped.
was
He was so
awesome.
cute. He had his microphone upside down and was pretending to rap into it. Like, it was adorable.
They
No.
finished with Dope.
On the main stage.
Amazing.
And then all the artists came back out and said their goodbyes. So as they were coming out, like everyone was like freaking out, following BTS, and like trying to get them to notice them. During the show, I was having a really hard time because I brought my Jimin slogan, my Made in 1997 slogan for Cookie, my Army Bomb, and my phone, and I was trying to do 3 things at once, and it was the worst possible thing. So I gave my Cookie slogan to the girl in front of me who was against the barricade, and she's a Cookie stan, and I had my Jimin one most of the time. But Jimin and I hadn't made eye contact by that point, so he was coming back out and then coming back this way, and I just came into the middle instead of trying to be up against the front, and was was jumping up and down with my Jimin slogan to try and get his attention. And he looked at me and he made a little heart like this because he saw my slogan said his name. And I died.
I was on the other barrier against the back of the P2 stage, and they were all dancing around at that end of the stage, kind of just making their way around, and Jungkook was dancing along and kind of like waving at everybody, and I pointed at him while I was dancing, and he looked down at me, pointed back, and bit his lip. He's a kindergartner! Why does he like this? And I hung out there at that end for a minute because they were all over there at one point, and Taehyung laid down on the ground at the end of the P2 stage and was just kind of rolling in the confetti. It was really cute.
When they were coming up on the little catwalk between P1 and P2, Jin was swatting the confetti out of the air. Hwasa, and I think it might have been when Jimin was interacting with Sing, it's probably why she didn't notice. But when Hwasa was coming up the stage, there were a whole bunch of people reaching for her, and so she crouched down and tried to high five as many people as she could when she was walking by. It was really, really cute.
Why not me though?
Very sorry.
It's okay. Jimin noticed me. One of my olds.
Cookie dabbed across the whole
A
stage
lot.
in the front. And
Cookie
that was
dab,
like 30 times
Yoongi
probably,
dab.
truly. And then Eiley kept trying to get
Tay
Namjoon
dab.
to dance. And
He was not having
He was
it.
not having it. And eventually Jin had to go and herd Cookie back off the stage.
Because Cookie kept dabbing across the stage.
I've seen 4 members of Bangtan dab with my own eyes. Because Jin dabbed in the fan engagement, but Taehyung dabbed, Yoongi dabbed, Jungkook dabbed during the goodbye stage. I'm alive.
I'm not.
Anyway, seeing Bangtan live is an experience that you need to have if you stand them.
If you consider yourself an ARMY. Back in December, I never would have thought. I really wanted to see BTS live, but I never actually saw it happening. I just couldn't picture it. And I saw BTS yesterday live, and it was honestly, truly one of the best experiences of my whole life. And I can't wait to do it again. Their musicianship and their stage presence is so unparalleled.
It's amazing.
I stand a lot of the other groups that played KCON, but they're just on another plane, of everything altogether.
I've been keeping track of how many times I've cried since the concert, and so far we're at 4. It's just so emotional to have all these feelings and to support them for so long, and then to finally see them and get to support them in person is just incredible. Somewhere out there, somewhere out in the world, Jimin knows that I love him, and that's all I need to know. I can die happy.
Emily showed camera time with Namjoon.
I sure can! KCON was kind of a shit show, but it was worth it.
The concert was great.
The concert was. This is a memory that I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life, honestly.
It was worth it. We drove hella long.
Hella long. We have hella long.
We're currently driving hella long.
2.5 to 3 full days in the car.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Super worth. Amazing experience.
Really, it is.
3, 2, 1.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.